All right, back with our Friday night tailgate, and it's week 6 already of the high school football season. Hard to believe that. Here with Connor Simmons out at Cascade High School, and some cool things going on today. It's homecoming and homecoming week, but wanted to talk a little bit about your team tonight, Connor. 5-0 so far this season. Obviously, coming off a great year last year, you guys were undefeated going into the sectional, and we can get into that a little bit too. But so far this year, expectations going in pretty high, and you guys have lived up to them so far.
Yeah, expectations are high. Our senior class does a really good job of setting those, and they keep on raising them every single year. It's crazy how time has flown with this group. I can remember them as freshmen. It feels like it was yesterday, coming in as 4 or 5 starting freshmen, going 6-5, and now we're off a 10-0 regular season, and then starting off 5-0. It's pretty surreal. I mean, it's pretty crazy to be a part of again.
We're going to talk to Brady Trebley too, as your starting quarterback, but you have a lot of players back from last year's team, and you go through last year. You're probably a little bit not off the radar to your people around here, but maybe to other people around the state. What was that season like going through it, and then and then we can talk about how it ended. But going through that 10-0, what was that ride like for you guys?
Oh, it was amazing. If you were to ask me, we'd be 9-0 in a regular season here at Cascade. 5 years into it, I probably said no. I thought it would take a little bit longer. But you get a really good class buying into your philosophies and what you were preaching, and they took it and ran with it. And to be a part of that is something special and something that they'll never forget. Especially here at Cascade, it's only happened once back in the Derek Moyers era when they went 8-1 in the regular season, and then went 10-1 and lost in the sectional final 10-2 lost at North Putnam. So we're hoping to build off of last year and make it hopefully further this year and compete for a long time.
And talking to you in the preseason, I know your philosophy has kind of been like, we're going all out. We're trying to get not to punt. We're going to go for it on 4th down. We're going to do those sorts of things. And I know that came up in the sectional game where, maybe it came back to bite you a little bit, but lost 37-35 to Tri-West, went toe-to-toe with them. But that philosophy, kind of where does that come from, I guess, from last year? It's
just we preach playing fast, physical, efficient football, and it was the epitome of that each game. And it kind of started from that first game against Indian Creek. We punted early on in the second half, right out the gate, and after that it was a close game, close battle. We got up 21-10, and we ended up not punting. We missed it. They scored. It was 21-18. We did it again, missed it. Had some luck on our side, and we were like, let's just keep on rolling with it and play aggressive. And it was fitting throughout the year, and worked for us. Punted only 4 times. One of the times it was a snap over his head, and that was kind of the end of it. I was like, we had some bad punt teams over the last couple of years, and looking back, should I put in quick kick? Absolutely, kind of an efficient thing. But this year we've kind of learned from it. We've punted 6 times so far, but we know when to punt, know when we can go for it, and feel confident when we do it.
And going back to that game, that Tri-West game, how much do you kind of, how much does that drive you in the offseason, I guess, or your kids to, get over that hump? Because that's still kind of out there for you guys.
It's a stinger. But I think the best part about it is going into that game, Tri-West historically is a huge program, great tradition, state championships, sectionals, regionals, semi-states. And to be able to go toe-to-toe with a team we've only beat 5 times in the history of Cascade is pretty big. We were 1 play away. So it's kind of like a long time ago, there was a state finals video that was going out and saying about it was 6 inches, right? And New Pal lost to Snyder on that 4th down or in the goal line. They just couldn't get in the end zone. It's kind of that motto. It's just, man, we gotta go. We gotta screw punt. We're going to play efficient. We're going to play fast, and we're going to make sure that each team has to play every single week. And we think that our efficiency on 4th down has always been good, and we want to make sure that if we get it, momentum's on our side. And unfortunately, we didn't get it last year, but that's last year. We're going to learn from it and grow and take it into this year and learn from our mistakes.
Well, again, Connor Simmons on our Thursday night tailgate here. Tell me about this year. So you start out, you get 2 really good wins, Monrovia and Danville, to start out the season. I think that Danville game, was 41 to 24.
25, yes, sir.
25,
yep.
Yeah. So you get that win. They're a 4A team. What did that win mean for you guys? And then just the schedule, because I know, last year you wanted to schedule some teams that maybe help you get ready for the tournament. What did those wins do for you guys?
They were huge confidence boosters. Going into week 1 against Monrovia, haven't played them in a year. It's a rivalry game. 10 minutes down the way. It was huge. They had beat us the previous year and hadn't been able to stop their run game because they're so dominant in that belly offense. But, we had a motto. We had a vision, and our seniors preached it all year long. Take it one game at a time, and it started with Monrovia. And, they just haven't looked back. And then going in to get that one, and then going into Danville, a team that we'd only beat 4 times in the history of Cascade. Coach Comer does one heck of a job over there. We knew it'd be a physical battle. We knew defensively they were going to have their players. The Carter Ward quarterback had a really good game. Tough kid to beat. Vu was a running back, and Wooten. And then defensive line, they were studs up front. And we knew that we had a really good team, really good philosophy, really good approach to the game, and we felt if we could get up points and get a couple stops, we'd be fine. And it just happened, and we got a couple stops, got a 18-point lead in the second half, and squeaked it out, kind of a little scary towards the ends after a couple punts that were only about 10 yards. So, but it was an awesome game, and it really set the standard for the next games going in, and really the Monon Athletic Conference as a first year as a whole.
Yeah, you're in the Monon Conference, Athletic Conference now, part of the schedule. But you have some tough games upcoming. You have at the end of the season Southmont, Western Boone, and then you get into the sectional there. But wanted to ask you about some of your players too, because a lot of these guys coming back this year. Yeah. I know Brady's been a big part of your offense for the last 3 years now. But who are some of the guys you lean on? Who are some of the guys that people can look out for?
Yeah, we have a lot of kids. There's a lot of weapons. Last week we had 20 kids touch the football, wow, which was huge. But we have Marcus Hobson, who's an elite playmaker on the edge as a receiver and a running back. He's got 23 touches and 11 touchdowns on the year. Lucas Farmer, who's coming back from an injury as a wing, he's averaging 20 yards a carry. Toby Savini, he's a 4-year starter, averaging 13 yards a carry. He's got 300 yards rushing, 200 yards throwing. Dayton Minks, a physical runner inside the tackle box. He's getting closing in on the career rushing touchdown record. JT Rochon, who's got elite top end speed, who is able to make plays. He's just kind of dealing with an injury right now. We have a couple other players. Delton Howery, who's a senior, who's just come out for the second time. He played freshman year, I wouldn't say quit, he just didn't return for the middle 2 years. And then he's a big body. Braxton Lewis, who's a tight end, big body. He's efficient at catching the football, and when he does catch the football, he's able to make plays and punish runs. And then you have a sophomore of TJ Turner, who's kind of come on at the end in the middle of the season this year, that he's kind of a different player than Mink. He's a physical runner, but he's got a little bit more speed to him, just a different switch up. And putting Brady and Gunn this year has added an entirely different dimension to our offense that makes teams have to play the pass, can't sit on the run as heavy as what they have in the past. And I think it opens our offense up to an enormous amount of potential.
And that was something you kind of had mentioned before the season, that you might see a little bit different team this year with the offensive side and the passing Brady's able to do. How has that worked out so far?
It's been fun. It's been fun for me because I've been itching at it for the last 2 or 3 years, but I've kind of been buying the time and being patient with it. And we feel like we have the right pieces around him to make it work. And the guys that bought into it were efficient. I mean, he's throwing, I think he's 54, 75, 11 touchdowns, 800 yards through the air, added another 113 yards to the ground. It's easy to put that on him when he's been a starter for 3 years, going into his 4th. He's efficient with the football. I mean, it adds another dimension to our offense, but it also adds a little bit of confidence too. Getting the ball out in space now instead of under center. Mm-hmm. It's hard to defend, I think, what we do offensively for teams on a week-to-week basis.
And again, Cascade plays Crawfordsville in the sectional, or not sectional, homecoming game tomorrow night, and joined by Connor Simmons here, and just to there's expectations now. You're ranked 2nd in the state. Do those things come up at all? Has it changed at all with your kind of day in and day out of practice?
Yeah, no, not really. We want to enjoy the moment. We want to really cherish it. It's not every day you're ranked 2nd in the state. It's not every day you're 5-0. It's not every day you have this type of success at a program that has only 15 winning seasons. So we want to make sure we take it week by week. Cherish the opportunity, cherish the team that we have, and really enjoy the moments that we have with it. We'll get to sectionals when we get there, but the Monon Conference, our goal is to win it, first year ever, and we want to make sure that we take it one game at a time and take the right approach, and again, just play our brand of football, and hopefully we can do that week in and week out, and on our home crowd against homecoming tomorrow night.
And just kind of lastly here, you've had some lopsided scores here lately. Do you worry at all about keeping that edge going? I know Southmont and Western Boone will probably give you tougher games at the end of the year, but do you worry about that edge, or have you seen the guys kind of rise up to that challenge?
They've risen up to that challenge, I think. the scores have been what they are. The good thing is we are competing until the buzzer, right? And then we want to make sure that we're competing 4 quarters, playing all 12 minutes in each quarter, playing all halves, whether it's our varsity, JV, or freshman group. And we got to start with Crawfordsville, but I like to throw in there. You got Crawfordsville, but you also got a Greencastle team who's throwing for 400 yards with their quarterback, so we can't overlook anybody ever. We're looking forward to every opportunity that we get to compete with this group. We're going to cherish the moment. We're going to take advantage of the opportunities and take it 1 week at a time, and hopefully at the end of the season we're playing into where we want to be.
Yeah, Greencastle's quarterback had, I think, 7 touchdown passes.
He's a pretty good player.
Impressive. Well, I know you got homecoming things to do. I'm not even going to stop recording here, but I'm going to bring Brady in now. And Connor, appreciate you coming on here with me, and good luck Friday.
I appreciate taking the time. Thank you very much.
Well, Brady, step on in. I want to talk to you as well. You've obviously been a big part of this team, for a while now. It seems like you've been here for a while. But, as we talked before the season started about, a little bit about just kind of the expectations of this team. To be 5-0, is this kind of what you guys expected?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Obviously last year, 10-0, then losing first round or second round sectional. This year, definitely want to repeat that. I knew it was going to happen. When a team has confidence, it's hard to bring them down. And the good thing about it is we're all confident, but we're also trying to stay prepared for every week. So we're not overlooking anybody, because we know anything can happen. It's high school football. You get one injury, something can happen. So we're definitely preparing every week to continue that, and we're not playing down anybody's level. We're playing our kind of football, Cascade football, every single week. And if we keep doing that, I think we will continue winning games.
I know Cascade has not been a football program that's been kind of known as a football power. What's it been like for you to see that maybe turn as a junior and senior now?
Oh, it's amazing. I remember going in freshman year, didn't have a winning season since 2013. And, we were all walking in as freshmen, me and my buddies, the ones, we were starting, a lot of us were. And, we'd be in the hallways, and, the upperclassmen would be like, you guys going to the game? No, we're going to lose. It's like as a freshman, I'm like, you don't even know yet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know what's about to happen. So we kind of took that to heart, and we took that personal, you're not going to doubt us. Our own community doubted us. I remember we'd sit there in the hallway, walk in the hallway. No one knew who our starting quarterback was. They didn't know who I was starting. They didn't know Toby was starting. They didn't know who the players were. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to start paying attention. Week 2, we played Beech Grove last year, never beat them before. We won 26-13, and everyone's like, okay. So that kind of started it. People started to come to more games. And then the next year, we had another 6-5 season. And that was kind of, I wish we did better that year.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 Monrovia and South Putt at the end of that year. That was my sophomore year. We should have won both those games.
Mm-hmm.
And we underperformed, in my opinion. And so going into my junior year, when we went undefeated, we took everything, all those losses personal. We worked our butts off. That weight room, that summer that year was the hardest summer I've been through going into my junior year, and it paid off going 10-0. So watching, every student not know who the players were, not go to the game, so now every single student is going to be at that game. If you go to a game, it's packed. It's hard. Everyone talks about it. It's the highlight of everyone's week. Football season is everyone's favorite, and it's awesome whenever the other sports are supporting you, and we're supporting the other sports, and everyone's just always supporting each other, and it's just a fun experience.
Yeah, one of the cool things I love about football is the community aspect. It's the one game, not one sport where you have one game a week basically every Friday, and the fans kind of know it, the students know it, and when you're good, it adds a whole nother element to that. But Brady, you kind of take on a different role this year, I would say, as much as passing as you've been able to do. And Connor talked about that before the season started. Was we're going to look a little bit different this year. What's that been like? That transition been like for you as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's been very different. First year going gun. We've always talked about it. Always in the off season, I'd mess with him. Not seriously, but hey, coach, when we going gun,
Right.
And he put that in this year, and we'd have 8-9 in the box every year. And now we don't have as much. So, we have trips, you have everyone out wide. You have the outside linebackers bumping outside. And it's like, okay, we can run the ball now.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can throw it. And it just a whole different element. That's just letting us win and let us compete better. So it's definitely been weird because, all week at practice, I was working on handing the ball off, working on my fakes, and now it's like, okay, we go do air raid, we go do 7-on-7 every single week, every single day. It's like, this is completely different. Practice lists look different. Just like the swag, the receivers are kind of have more of a swag to them. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna touch the ball this game. I'm not just walking. So it's just more fun too. The parents, the fans are like, when are we gonna throw it? And I always knew it would come. You know, even if we didn't, it's I just want to win. Like it never really bothered me when we were running the ball because we were winning. And you know, this year it's fun because we get to throw it and run and win.
Right.
And it's just awesome. I love doing it, and it's just really fun.
You have a chance, you know, to go undefeated again in the regular season. Long way to go. You got 4 games left in the season, but you know, that lingering out there is the sectional, obviously, and I know that's what you guys want to accomplish. What's it going to take this year, do you think, to meet that goal?
It's going to stay disciplined every single week. A lot of people are saying that our schedule is not as hard, and you know that might be true. Other teams, you know, Garen Tri-West are playing better teams right now, but you know the teams we're playing, we're beating by a lot, and we're staying disciplined. We're doing our jobs. You know, I'm glad we played Monrovia Danville week 1 and 2. You know, those are higher level teams that we didn't really necessarily play last year. So, you know, when we're winning by a lot every week, it's like it's easy to slack off. And this year, you know, I'm specifically, I know me and some other seniors, we're making sure that those younger guys are staying disciplined and not letting anything happen. Because, you know, you have one slack off play, you know, a team in the sectional can see that film and they can, you know, scheme against that, and they can see, you know, your tendencies. And if we continue messing up, it's going to be taken advantage of. So as long as we stay disciplined and we stay focused and we are dedicated to winning, I think that anything's possible.
With you know, what did that Danville win do for you guys, do you think? Because like you said, that's a little bit different of a opponent than you've had, and their county team, I know there's obviously rivals with being in the same county, but what did that do for you guys, just from a standpoint of maybe a confidence, or just hey, we are maybe as good as we thought?
Right. Yeah. I remember when I was in 5th grade or 6th grade, we beat them first time in however long, and I just remember we never played them since 2019, and when we found out we were going to play them, I was like, oh yeah, let's go. You know, they're obviously right down the road. We're not real familiar with each other like the players, you know, like as other schools are, but getting to beat them at their place, you know, we've beat them 5 times in school history. So being able to be that 5th team to do it, you know, it kind of shuts down the haters. Like, okay, they just beat a 4A team who at the time I believe was ranked 14th maybe or something like that. And, you know, we beat them by 20 or 17 or something like that. And getting to beat them gave our confidence. You know, we have a young offensive line, and that D-line was big. They were fast, and that gave them the confidence. You know, I saw them, like, you know, maybe the first week they were like, all right, we're good, but I want to see. Then they dominated. They did an awesome job, and now they're confident. And when you have younger, confident kids with older kids helping them, they're doing their job, and they're doing it very well.
And lastly, Brady, what's do you know what's next for you? Do you know college-wise what you're looking at, or what you would like to do anyway? Yeah,
I definitely want to play. I'm in the process of it, always talking to coaches and just finding what's going to fit me best. Obviously, we run a different offense, so I'm not necessarily looking to go to a college that's going to throw the ball every single play. I want to do something that fits me. I feel like I'm kind of unique in the point where I can run and I can throw. And I try to use my athleticism to, you know, stand out, because, you know, obviously a lot of kids have better arms than me, and they may be faster, but I like playing the game. And I feel like when I get locked into playing, like, I turn to a gamer, and I'm like, we got to make the right plays. And I feel like I'm not going to necessarily look for the best team or whatever it is, but I definitely want to play somewhere that's going to, like, where it fits me.
Well, awesome. Well, again, Brady Trebley, and we've been battling the flies here as well, and you've done a great job of doing that in this interview. But great job talking here today. Cascade, again, 5-0, ranked number 2 in Class 3A, and playing Crawfordsville at home. I know you have some homecoming festivities going on even tonight, but good luck to you guys the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brady.